1000 Toys does it again with, dare I say, another flawless Halo figure? I don't know, you'll have to tell me for yourself, but this thing is incredible. Let's open it up, check it out, and of course do some toy photography. So, are you familiar with 1000 toys? Not like, do you know of 1,000 different toys? I'm sure you do, but actually 1,000? That sounds like a lot. Anyway, are you familiar with the brand 1000 Toys? Because they're kind of amazing. To be completely honest, I only own one other 1000 Toys figure, and it's incredible. It's like, honestly, sometimes I think about it, I'm like, this is one of the best figures I own. I love Halo, but I'm not the biggest Halo guy, so I don't bring up my 1000 Toys Master Chief too often. But this figure is so incredibly impressive. It's one of the best combinations of being thick, bulky, heavy figure, but still it's very articulated. It looks good. It doesn't sacrifice anything for either looks or articulation. Both is great. It's like weighted on the feet. The sculpt is incredible. It feels great. Like, this is just a really amazing figure. Like, this figure is so impressive, and I wish my other figures were this good. Which makes me think, man, I wish 1000 Toys did more. And they do plenty of figures for sure, but anyway, 1000 Toys has been dropping Halo figures recently, and this is one of the first ones of the Halo Reach line that they've been doing. And let me tell you, I might not be the biggest Halo guy, but man, when Halo Reach came out, when I was like 17 years old on the Xbox 360, I was a Halo guy. I put a lot of hours into playing SWAT at the sword base or at the pinnacle or something, and it was a really great game. And one thing I loved about it is there was like a handful of like main Spartan hero characters, and you know, there was the guy with the skull on his helmet, the girl with the metal robotic arm, and also the sniper guy, which I didn't really realize his name was Jun A266, but it is. And it's so cool. I'm so excited to see 1000 Toys dropping all of these different Halo Reach characters, and man, they look amazing. And I'm really excited to open this figure up, and I can't wait to see how amazing it is. Is it just as good as my Master Chief one over there? Or is it better? There's more. It's not just him. All of those guys I just mentioned, 1000 Toys is doing them. It's awesome. So if you want to pick him up, or if you want to pick up or pre-order any of those other Halo figures I was just talking about, head over to hobbygenki.com. I've got it linked in the description. Hobby Genki is probably my #1 place when it comes to import figures. I love Hobby Genki. They're so great, really great people, and they've got such a fantastic selection. Everything you need is on there, including all of these Halo Reach figures. I'll have them linked in the description to pick them up. Please do. And as always, Hobby Genki, thank you so much for sending me this figure. Thanks for being awesome. Thank you guys for watching and picking up some of these figures from them. The link's in the description, so if you want this, make sure to head there, support them, and get yourself something good like this. So Hobby Genki, thank you for sending me this figure. Thank you so much. So anytime I bring up 1000 Toys, or even think about 1000 Toys, I think about that one time in like 2019 when they teased a Fallout Power Armor figure. 1000 Toys, what's going on with that? Are we getting that or what? Did you give up? Are you still working on it? Somebody give me a freaking Fallout action figure. I mean, come on, 1000 Toys, you were already doing it. Please, can we just get it? Thank you very much. And here is Jun, and man, he really is beautiful. It's insane the amount of love and attention to detail that was put into the creation of this figure is very apparent. Like, you can just tell every inch of him is just got stuff going on. It's just really cool. Like, he looks really amazing. And one thing about the Master Chief that I really liked is his feet and his lower legs were a little bit more weighted than the rest of his body. They were heavier. And I had only really seen that in like maybe one other figure ever. And this guy's got it too. Maybe that's a common thing with 1000. Can any other 1000 toy collectors let me know? Is that a thing that most of them do? But it's definitely happening here. It's so cool. Like, the design of the Halo characters obviously is really cool, of the Spartans and everything, but when I look at him, I look at like a piece of construction equipment, or like a I don't know, like a big construction vehicle. Like, the way it's all built and all of the pieces, and the little bits on his feet are the black and yellow. That totally is also making me think that. But it really is cool. It's incredible. And this top part here, this little like netting I don't know if that's a hood or like a little ghillie suit looking thing. That is not soft goods. I was actually kind of wondering, oh, maybe they'll do soft goods for that. And if not, it's plastic and it's hard into it. And you know what? That kind of works. If it was soft goods, I'm not really sure how that would look. But man, everything looks great. I can't wait to get into articulation and everything because it seems like it's just, and look, I haven't even gotten into it, but the fact that you can still get that much of an elbow articulation with all of this going on, they do great work. They do great work. One of the things too that's really cool about looking at all of these details, like, you know, the knife on the shoulder, just this chest plate here, and this one with the bullet shells on the other shoulder. These are all attachments that you could put on your own Spartan soldier that you were creating, you know, for your character. You can play multiplayer, stuff like that. And so it's cool seeing all of those attachments again that I could get, right? But they're right here on him now. And that's just really cool, you know? I don't remember if the ghillie, was that a thing? Could you get that on your character? I think so, right? I know the helmet was, of course. Ah, man, this figure is just so stinking cool, man. One thing that not enough action figure brands do nowadays is come with an instruction manual, the destructions, and I think these are really helpful. It doesn't seem like it'd be as helpful with this guy, but especially with ones that have like different heads and faces and hair that can be interchangeable. So it really says everything in here. And so it does also include instructions for if you have the exclusive edition, which this is not exclusive edition, unfortunately, which does come with the pistol, which would have been a great, you know, the classic Spartan pistol. I don't know the names of any of these things. You know, it's such a classic weapon. It would have been really cool to have him, but hey, I know the exclusive edition is up there, so I'll have that linked in the description too. So it says right here, see, look, this is good because I would have probably broken this thing and somebody in the comments would have been really mad, rightfully so. It says here that you cannot move the bipod down. Actually kind of unfortunate. I would have loved to have seen be able to bring that down, but oh well. So that's good to know, but it does also say that you can put the sniper on his back too, so that's really cool. When they come with instructions, look at them, because the last thing you want is a very expensive broken figure on your hand. Trust me, I've done it plenty of times, and I get mad at myself and other people get mad at me, so. So speaking of the sniper rifle, here it is. The one weapon that a lot of people always wanted, you know, in multiplayer, but not me. Maybe because I sucked with it and I got intimidated using that scope. That was probably it, to be honest, so I never really went for this. So as the instruction says, bipod here does not go down. So that's, honestly, that's a little unfortunate. I think that would be cool for posing, you know, using that. Everything else, though, looks really cool. Classic, you know, it's really the only main accessory that he comes with. And so this little piece here does fold out, and so this is what you can use to attach in his back, I believe. So let's try give that a shot. So I was trying to put it in his back, and it looks like I can't put it in his back. So it says here, weapons cannot be attached to the back of Jun A266 due to the Viper hood. It's good to know that's called the Viper hood. The above is an example of attaching the weapon to another item in the series. So you can attach it to this guy if you have this other figure. So that doesn't really help me right now, so that's unfortunate. But I did read here that you can move this piece, which does actually allow you to have a little bit more articulation in the thigh, so that's kind of cool. So we'll get to that with articulation. Right, the instructions also say to put the hand in first. I mean, it kind of says that, at least that's how I interpreted it. So let's put the hand in there. There we go, hand is in, so let's put it on him now. All right, Jun, pop that right off, pop this right on. Man, articulation just feels so good with him. Well, there we go. That is pretty cool. I mean, I didn't really pose him much, but that looks pretty awesome like that, doesn't it? All right, let's try to get him to hold it in just kind of like a comfortable holding the gun kind of position. This is usually, you know, something that's kind of tough with figures in general, getting them to hold big rifles like this. All right, that looks good. That looks pretty great, actually. All right, let's try to actually get him to hold it like he's, you know, looking in the scope, taking a shot. His chest is really, wow. The fact that you can hold it in front of him like that, That's impressive. There's a lot of like really crazy butterfly joints going on. Oh my god. This is so incredible. This is so easy to do too. Usually this is incredibly difficult. Look at that pose. The way you're able to lift the gun all the way up to his face and then put his, like, wow, that looks so natural. And I just did it on camera. Usually when I try to do things while I'm filming, I suck at it. Wow, I'm so incredibly impressed. Honestly, this might be like whatever I do for my toy photo with this pose. I'm legitimately impressed with that. I thought that was gonna be really tough. He doesn't have any other accessories, really. I wish he did have the pistol, I really did. Because the Master Chief came with like the sword, the shotgun, the assault rifle. You know, that would have been nice. But he just comes with a bunch of other hands, which are all very useful. We've got gun holding hands, we've got normal holding hands, we've got fists, we've got this other hand here that I'm not really sure what this would be for. Maybe this is for like cocking something, but it's kind of like, it's got both hands kind of split up. Kind of, I can't even do that with I'm not very coordinated, clearly. Then I can't even do the Star Trek thing. Whatever, but that's basically what he's doing. And so that's the only other kind of out of the ordinary thing here. Everything else is pretty ordinary as far as these hands are concerned. So the thing with articulation with him is really cool because there's a lot of joints that kind of like, it's so cool, it's so well thought out. Like the joints will kind of go like up inside of the figure to make it extend out further. It's kind of like the way butterfly joints work, I feel like. But let's just talk about the elbow, for instance. The elbow, the joint like goes all the way up inside of the top of like the bicep, basically. You can go and move it all the way that far, and you can just see how all of that little bit there gets extended so it can have that crazy amount of, it's insane. It's so cool. And the leg is the same way. So the knees kind of, you know, it has that extended knee that goes all the way up inside of both the thigh, like, and the shin area. It's just wild, so incredibly wild. And so the butterfly joints,
that was sus.
But the butterfly joints are the same way. That's one of the reasons why I was able to get that pose before. That joint extends from the inside of him, just like all of that. It goes out and then more. It's kind of like the way that Buzz Lightyear Revoltech figure worked, you know? And it's quite amazing. It really is. You can't actually, as far as like getting a T-pose, so there you go, that's close enough as a T-pose. But yeah, if you kind of mess with it, I feel like you can do just about everything you need to do. And the head movement is really nice too. There's lots of movement in the head. Okay, so one of the things with the thighs, in the instructions, it says this little belt thing, you can tip that up. See that? Once you tip that up, that gives you a little more range to, you know, go all the way up if you need to, for whatever reason. It's very, very nice little touch. Like I said, I really fully believe you'll be able to get him in whatever pose I think you need to get him in. So Jun, he's probably about 6 inches tall or so, right? No, he's like exactly 7. But here he is also compared to the Master Chief, and this is the Halo Infinite Master Chief to be specific, because there's definitely a few that 1000 Toys has done. And of course he scales perfectly. If he didn't, that would be a problem, but no, he definitely scales perfectly. And man, they have like almost the exact same color green. Not quite. This guy's a little bit more olive than he is, and I think that makes sense. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the Jazzwares Halo figures to compare them, which I think these scale a little bit bigger. I could be wrong, so sorry I don't have any of them to compare, but a couple other video game characters. This is a McFarlane Scorpion, and this is my favorite guy right here. This is the Figma Doomslayer, who does scale a little bit smaller. Definitely more wide, that's for sure. Man, I wish 1000 Toys would do one of them, because I like this Figma figure, but I don't love it. I don't love it. I feel like it could be better, but still a great figure. And also, back to Mortal Kombat, this is the Storm Collectibles Reptile. He kind of scales, you know, if you wanted to do any kind of crossover. I don't know, they kind of scale. So, sorry I don't have any of the Jazzwares, but either way, I think he scales quite nicely with stuff. Actually, you know what? I'm wrong. He should not these don't scale, right? Because the Spartans should be like 2 feet taller than everybody, right? Because they're huge soldiers and stuff. Sorry. Okay, so what are we giving him? Are we giving him a W or are we giving him an L? W or L? He's a W, for sure. He's definitely a W. I'm so impressed with what 1000 Toys is able to do. To be honest, I don't think any other brand that I can think of does the whole chunky figure and articulation all in one better than they do. Usually when there's somebody this thick, they have to, have worse articulation because of it. Or if like they do, sometimes things look a little bit weird. And that's kind of the case with the Doomslayer. Like, he's got good articulation, but some joints look weird. But this guy doesn't. He's thick, he moves around well, and I think nobody does it better than 1000 Toys, as far as I can tell. And it's really impressive, really impressive. I am, however, a little bit disappointed with the amount of accessories. Like, the Master Chief had so many. Like, I get it, this is the sniper guy, he would only have the sniper, but I don't know, something else. One other gun would have been nice. I know the special edition one has the pistol. He should have came with the pistol, and then the special edition one comes with something else. I don't know. Or make it so I can attach the thing to his back or to the side somehow. That would be cool. That's, I think, a little bit missing there. But especially for the price point, it's a pretty expensive figure, I'm definitely saying W, but, I wish there was a little more, wish there was a little bit more. But what do you think? Do you have this guy yet? Is he a W? Is he an L? Is he an M? I can see people throwing M's out there, but I'm just so impressed with how perfect he looks, the articulation, all of that. It's so impressive. Well done, 1000 Toys. Okay, well, it's time for toy photography. It is a shooting and reviewing video, and it's still a cold winter here in New York, but I've specifically chosen, I think, a couple figures this week for my videos that will work well in the snow, and I think he'll work well in the snow. So let's go and take a shot outside. Okay, so check it out. I'm at my favorite place, Peebles Island. I go here all the time, and it's really an absolutely beautiful 15-degree Fahrenheit day right now, but the sun is shining, the water's flowing, and it's looking quite nice. Look at that sun. And there's our guy, John, right down there by the water. He's looking real nice. So this shot really is not that risky. He's really not that close to the water. Yeah, the water's there. Everything's fine. He's very safe. My camera's nicely placed in a big hole I accidentally made with my foot. Oh well. And I'm really going for a pretty simple shot. He's just standing there in a very simple pose. And I'm hoping I just get some cool scenery, some really cool lighting, and I might slap around a little bit of snow too to see if I can get something that looks cool. And that's literally it. I've specifically placed the sun behind me. I put the sun there. No, sorry. I specifically placed him with the sun behind him. And so, since I've got my light reflector, as always, I'm just gonna bounce some of that sun around, just like that, see? Bounce it around to make sure the lighting is looking all good. And I'm gonna take the shot. Probably also just take a handful of snow and throw it on the ground and see if that makes a little bit of nice effect. And usually snow in the sunlight really just sparkles. It looks really great. So that's really, that's the whole plan. My settings for the shot right now are at 1600 for my shutter speed. It's really bright, so it's gotta be pretty fast. And I'm throwing around some snow, so I want that to be fast as well. My f-stop is 3.5, which is slightly higher, but it's okay. It's bright enough to the point where I can turn it up slightly, and I still get a blurry background. It looks great, it looks great. And my ISO is at 400, as it always is. So I'm gonna go take this shot right now, splash some snow around, and then get out of here before I freeze my pinky off. Man, 1000 Toys just needs to get all the licenses and make all the figures because really they just do amazing work. Like, I just have nothing really to add. Everything is just so good with this figure. I will, however, say I wish there were a couple more accessories, but as far as the figure goes, it's just perfect. It is, man. I can only imagine getting a Doom figure from them or a Fallout figure. That'd be amazing. But either way, if you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Huge thank you to Hobby Genki for sending this figure over. Make sure to go to the link in the description if you want to pick this guy up. And this photo, of course, will be posted up onto Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. All of those platforms are linked in the description of the video. And as always, thank you so much for watching and getting this far into the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.